Hello and welcome to another video blog from home. And today on A Vogel Talks Menopause, I am going to be talking about, can easing your night sweats cause more dreams? Now, if you like my tips and advice, then please subscribe and remember to hit the bell icon so you can be notified of all my new videos. This was a question I had the other week from a lady who had been using our Sage tablets, and after about 6 weeks, she noticed that she was having a lot of very complex dreams at night, which is something she'd not had for a while. And she wondered why this had happened. It's really very simple. If you are getting lots of night sweats, if your nights are being disrupted, if you're having to, wake up and then try and get more comfortable and get back to sleep, this can really interfere with the dreaming sequences whilst you're asleep. And that in turn can affect your emotional state during the day, because everything that you're doing is not getting processed properly at night whilst you sleep. So if you sort the night sweats out, if you decrease them so that you are starting to get a better night's sleep and a longer sleep, then your brain will take this time to catch up with all the processing that it's not been able to do for a while. The problem with this is that it's like your computer, there's so much information, it's trying to back everything up as quick as possible. And what very often happens is that you start to really dream. The dreams very often will be fast and furious. They may be very complex because your brain might be trying to process 2 or 3 different things all in the one dream. And that can then, you tend to wake up and you end up remembering a lot of the dreams which you might not have done before. So it's really quite interesting. And there are other aspects of dreams too. And I thought I'd go through these ones today, just a quick overview. The other thing that can happen is that we tend to have a much shallower sleep once we're in the menopause, because estrogen, plenty of estrogen, gives us a deep, prolonged sleep. So as our estrogen starts to fall, then very often we're sleeping at a much shallower level, which means that we wake up a lot easier, we wake up a lot quicker, noise will disturb us more. But because we're in a much shallower state, we're more able to remember our dreams. And some women say to me, I've started dreaming and I've never dreamt before. It's not that they're starting to dream, it's just that because they're in such a shallow sleep, they are remembering a lot more detail of the dreams that they have had before. Another thing that can happen is that you can get more action-packed dreams. You know those dreams when you wake up in the morning and you feel exhausted. It almost feels like you've been in a film. Everything is so real. It may well be it's in colour. It's very action-packed. There's a lot of things going on all around you. And you feel so drawn into that very often you can feel quite physically tired when you eventually wake up. For some women, it can be the nightmares and the night terrors. And unfortunately, at this moment in time, with everything else that's going on, most of us are extra worried, we're extra anxious, we're extra fearful. And because going through the menopause, falling estrogen helps to decrease our control over our emotions. So we can feel our emotions much more deeply, much more internally, and sometimes much more kind of heartfelt, if you like. And because of that, our fears during the day very often transfer themselves to our sleep, to our dreams, and that fearfulness and that worry and that anxiety can be magnified greatly, and this is what can cause the nightmares and the night terrors. And very often in these ones, you will wake up and your heart will be absolutely thumping, purely maybe out of panic or just out of sheer terror. So these are kind of not the nicest aspect of dreaming, but they are very, very common, especially if you are more anxious and worried. The other thing that can happen is this sleep paralysis. Now, in normal circumstances, when you go to sleep, your body goes into a very light level of paralysis. If it didn't, then your nighttime would be so much more active. You would be acting out everything that you are dreaming about. And obviously that's not very good for you. It could put you in harm's way, especially for people who do things like sleepwalking. So your body puts you into a very gentle state of paralysis that helps you to relax and helps you to sleep, helps you to have the dreams without you hitting and lashing out. Again, because you're sleeping at a much shallower level, there are times when you can wake up and you become conscious quicker than the body can switch this mechanism off. So you can wake up and you find that you can't move, and you're in, it can be quite frightening. I mean, I've had that several times, and you want to call out or shout out and you literally can't do anything. In the usual circumstances, what happens is your body will very quickly catch up with this. So it tends not to last too long, but it is just in that waking moment, it can give you quite a panicky feeling. There are lots of things you can do to help improve your sleep. I have done quite a sort of extensive video blog on this, going into a lot more detail. So if you want to find out a little bit more, then please just check the link. But just be reassured that extra dreams, action dreams, and just feeling things a little bit more when you're sleeping are really very, very common during the menopause. So you're certainly not alone with all these things going on. Hope this was of interest for you. I think it's an absolutely fascinating subject. And I will look forward to seeing you again shortly for another A Vogel from home. Bye.